Hey everybody, I want to thank you for stopping by here to Airguns of Michigan. Listen, I don't ask a lot from a lot of people, but if you guys would, do me a favor, before this video starts, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It definitely helps me, and I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to bring you guys all the information I can, and then if you will, don't be a Karen. Give this video a thumbs up. We all appreciate it. We're all here because we love air guns. You might not agree with everything that I say, but you know what? I'm an individual, just like you. We have opinions. So I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for being here, and enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on everyone? Moose here, Airguns of Michigan, and today we're out at the range. Finally made it out to the range, and we have our FX Impact M3 Slugger, and we are shooting at 100 yards. I spent a little bit of time this morning doing some tuning and trying to find that high-end sweet spot for this air gun to shoot 30.5 grain Zahn slugs. So I went everywhere from about 1,017 was the high end, and what I found was that with the stock barrel liner, there's no carbon fiber sleeve in here. We haven't added the tension barrel kit yet. It's just a little too much at those higher speeds. I had mixed results, but then with the harmonics and everything, just going off of what I've experienced, guys. So if you're out there going, I shoot mine at 980 with a stock, that's awesome. I'm trying to get the most consistency that I can, pushing this gun as hard as I can, but yet trying to stay efficient at the same time. We'll get to that high speed, I promise. We're just not quite there yet. So we've got it roughly at 935 right now. That's with the FX chronograph. And she's shooting pretty darn good. I mean, honestly, for pushing as hard as we are, with the only upgrades that we've done is the slug power kit. So it's got a slug kit in it. Other than that, it's a stock M3. Other than obviously the accessories. But we're shooting at 100 yards, and like I said, we're getting really decent groups. Honest to God, good groups. The best groups that I had were right around 915 to 920, but I wanted to see, can I get that little extra bit of speed to get that thing really pushing it? And so I decided that, the 935, we're going to show you guys what it'll do. She's a tag driver at 50, let me tell you, and she's doing really, really well down at 100. So let's go ahead and get to shooting. Just so you guys know, my front reg is at 180. My rear reg here is at, trying to lean over, it's 130. So we've got 180, 130. Hammer wheel on 8, macro at like 3.6, and my valve is right on the 4th line. Obviously I can change this speed very quickly by adjusting that valve, but I turned it back just a little bit, slower back down to get her to that 935. We were shooting a group, and I actually took a phone call, closed out my FX chronograph, and I don't know what happened to my last shot string. So, but roughly we were at about a 2.1 standard deviation with an extreme spread of 6. So not too bad at all. Let's see if we can see down there, and we can. So let's go ahead and get this thing loaded up. We are running the Zahn 30.5 grains. Go ahead and start that recording. All right. Let me just make sure. I hate when I do this to you guys, but I like to make sure that we're recording. Otherwise, that was all in vain, because you won't really see it. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up. We'll shoot this upper right target first, or upper left target first. And let's see where we're at. I should probably hold on to the gun a little bit better than that. There she goes. Not the results I was getting earlier, but results nonetheless. There she goes. She's coming together now. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna open this valve up a little bit and try to get a little bit quicker speed and see if maybe I accidentally bumped her down just a little bit. And let's go ahead and move over to this center target and see what we can get. All right, so definitely going to be some improvement, especially once we add the carbon fiber sleeve and the superior heavy liner. You know, barrel harmonics is a real thing. And, you know, we're really kind of pushing this thing out there. And, you know, we're creating a lot of waves in this barrel. And, you know, it is what it is. And then look at this. We got water dripping off of our gun. So, you know what? In hindsight now, let's go ahead and turn the valve down a little bit and see if we can't maybe slow it down and see what kind of groups we get. Obviously, we're going to be shooting a little bit low now. Definitely not where I want it to be. We're also coming down on our air pressure. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do this. We're gonna open this valve back up, just a hair. And I'm gonna shoot. No, you know what? Let's take a minute. Let's go ahead and put some air back in this gun and go from there. I just don't want to come off reg and have it be terrible. But you know, this is all part of the process, guys. For those of you that are, you know, into tuning and things like that, you know, we're playing the game of, you know, let's figure out what the gun likes in its current configuration. And that's something that not a lot of people take into consideration. You know, this is only video 1. So, you know, we're basically taking an air gun and we're trying to get it to shoot a medium weight slug. I mean, 30.5 grain is pretty decent weight. You know, they go up to, you know, I've got some Nielsen's sitting over here that are 38 grain, but you know, they go down to, you know, 24, 25, you know, I mean, that's a little bit, you know, less on the barrel. You know, this is a pretty decent sized slug for a 22, as you can see right here. And, you know, everything for a reason, right? We're going through the paces. We're getting this air gun to, you know, find out what it likes the best. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use that same upper right target. and 5. So you could see by just adjusting our speed ever so slightly that we're changing the kind of groupings that we're getting, right? We've got some that, you know, were a little tighter and had a few flyers, things like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been out here shooting a long time. This is the 3rd boxes on 30.5 grains that I've put through this gun. Trying to just get it, you know, where I want it. You know, I mean, I shot a lot of different groups at a lot of different speeds today. I've been out here for quite a while. And like I said, you know, I've kind of found that, you know, right around here is where it kind of likes. But I think what's really going to make the difference is adding that barrel liner and that carbon fiber sleeve. Now, a lot of people are sitting around going, well, I got to add a barrel liner and a carbon fiber sleeve. Well, you know, this barrel liner honestly is set up for pellets. It's not really intended for, you know, medium to heavy slugs. It's just not, you know, so when we add that new liner, you know, it's a little more rigid. And then once we add the carbon fiber sleeve, you know, those things are like 20 bucks. You know, they're relatively inexpensive. And obviously, FX has really kind of pinnacled on this tension barrel system, right? They're taking away the fact that you've got a barrel, now add a different liner, now go ahead and do this. It's coming all in one kit so that, you know, if you want to shoot the slugs, and I have a feeling we are going to be really impressed and really shocked when we add that barrel tension kit to this thing. And I'm really excited to get there. I'm really excited about the performance of the gun. It's still very consistent. I mean, a standard deviation of 2 is, I mean, that's dang good. You know, I mean, can it do better? Yeah. Will it do better? Maybe. You know, the more that we play with it, the more that we fine tune. That's why all these little adjustments make the world of difference. You know, I start out where I'm on hammer 16 and my macro wheel is maxed out, you know, to where, you know, I'm like 2 clicks in from can't cock the gun. And then we start to even it all out. So, you know, in the beginning here, we were air hogging. I mean, I was getting maybe a magazine, and then it was like right at rag. It was time to stop. So now I'm getting roughly 2 mags, maybe 1.5. Not really sure. I haven't really like filled it up and said, okay, let's just shoot until it's at rag. But you know, overall the performance is quite impressive. So the next thing I want to do is I want to open up this valve a little bit more. And that wasn't a little, but I want it to be sufficient to figure out where we're at. We're going to go with this middle left target and see what we can't do. You're flying a little high. Nope, we're out of slugs. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take just a few more shots just to kind of show you guys, you know, where I'm at. This is not, you know, a tack driver by any means yet. But the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this thing up to the heavy liner with the carbon fiber sleeve, because I have a feeling that the only reason that I'm getting the results that I'm getting right now is the fact that barrel harmonically I am falling apart. But I stand corrected because that's probably one of the better grips. And I'm shooting fast. I'm definitely shooting fast. But I would say that in anybody's book, that's a pretty decent group right there. I mean, we are outside. There is a slight breeze. It's not a lot of a breeze. So I'm not even gonna say that the wind is affecting those, but my fast shooting certainly is. But that just goes to show just a little bit of change, right? Because here we are up in the upper left, and and then we come over here and it really opens up. And then we come over here and it super opens up. Then we were shooting slower and it really opened up. And then we come over here and we add some more speed to it, and look at where we're at. I mean, it's decent. It's a start is what I'm getting at. This is not a final tune. This is not a situation where, oh man, that's what he's gonna shoot that gun at out here or out there. And no, that's not. But it's showcasing how we go about, especially using this valve. This valve is key to tuning of this gun, in my opinion. Once we get our efficiency, right? Hammer and macro efficiency. Valve, fine adjustment. I can literally slow this gun down by just turning this valve to probably unregisterable with my FX chronograph. And yet I can take the same valve and open it up more and more and more and get up into the 970s with my, well, probably 960s with my reg set at 130. So earlier I had my reg at 150 back here, 180 up here, and then I had my valve open just past 4, and I was shooting 1017. So reg is where I wanted to start because I wanted to kind of plateau. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about how I go about doing my tuning. Crank my hammer wheel up to 16, open my macro wheel till basically the gun won't cock, back it off, 3 or 4 turns, now the gun will cock. And then I start adding 5 bar of pressure until I've reached the peak of where I want to be. And I'll always usually do that right at around 4 bars on my valve. And then, so what I'm doing is I'm pushing this gun as fast as I can. So I got to that 115, right? Or that 1,015 feet per second. Then what I do is once I keep adding 5 bar to this and it doesn't go any further, I'll back the valve or the reg pressure back down to where I maxed out at. Then I can start turning my hammer wheel down, backing my macro out a little bit to get that efficiency where I'm not wasting a ton of extra air. I've still got enough air and enough power to push that slug at whatever speed that is. But I can start turning these things down so that my hammer isn't smashing into that valve unnecessarily. If my hammer can go boop and open that valve, or bam and open that valve, which one makes better sense? Boop, open the valve. So this is where your hammer and your macro come in, right? You can start to play that. I don't want it to hit so hard that it either that or it creates, valve bounce. And then you could start using your valve to fine tune. So, starting at, like I said, 1,015 feet, 1,017 feet per second, I can just use my valve and turn that down to say 980, which is where I thought I was gonna be able to be with this, right? Because I've seen other people shooting Zons or heavier at those speeds and they're accurate. The problem that we run into at that point is the fact that this barrel liner is not really set up for shooting, honestly, that weight of slug and the speed of that slug. Now this liner to shoot a 25-39 redesign at 920, no problem. No problem at all. To shoot these slugs at 930, 940, we're right on that verge, right? We're on that verge of there's so much harmonic stuff going on in this barrel that's why you start to see those little bit of flyers. My consistency's there. The Zon slugs are consistent. My air pressure is consistent. My speeds are consistent. So technically I should be shooting pretty darn decent. I would say that just adding a carbon fiber sleeve to this could be a good starting point as well if you don't have the money to go out and buy a barrel liner. But having that superior heavy liner is gonna make a difference. And we're gonna prove that on the next video. So we're gonna take this thing home, we're gonna take it apart, we're gonna put in our superior heavy liner, we're gonna put in our carbon fiber sleeve to go over top of it to hold it a little bit tighter. In essence, you might wanna say, I mean, and I hate to use this reference, but you know, let's just coin a new phrase, the poor man's tension barrel. It's really kind of what it's trying to do. Is it going to be as accurate as a tension barrel? My guess is no. But we're going to find out together for sure, because we're going to add that. We're going to add the carbon fiber sleeve, and we're going to start shooting 100 yards again. And we're going to try to maintain this speed or maybe better. We're going to find out, can we push this thing to 980, 970, 980, 990 and still get consistency? That's the question. That's why we're here. We're here to find out, is it necessary or is it worth it to add these accessories? The short answer, yes it is. The long answer, that's why we're doing these videos. So you guys are going to be able to see everything that's going on. We're probably even going to be jacking up our reg pressure as well. For those of you guys that might want to see a video on how I start with my tunings, let me know down in the comments below, man. I can shoot another video where we take a gun and just, we'll mess with all the settings, we'll get them all screwed up and all the regs different, and then we'll come in, we'll set the reg pressures and go from there. So with that being said, I'm Moose. This is Airguns of Michigan, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out. If you would, do me a huge favor, give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead if you haven't already and hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate everything that you guys do, and we'll see you soon. So till next time, be good to each other, and God bless.